Most of the time, chemo left me too weak and apathetic to do anything with my hair. Mom would brush it for me, more delicately than I knew was possible. But despite her care and gentleness, the long, straight swaths began to come away in my hands. As a little kid, I tossed and turned so much that by the morning my hair would be a rat's nest. Mom would patiently brush the tangles into a smooth sheet, then wind the tresses into braids, or ponytails, or a ballet bun. When my dad left, getting me out of bed and off to school was enough of a chore for my mom. I was too young to notice, much less understand, that she was struggling too. For most of 5th grade, I had worn my hair down, long and loose, and often uncombed. By 6th grade, we had moved. I had Jairus, my mom had a new job and new friends, and we were both better, happier. One day, as I sat at the kitchen table eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch in my pajamas, Mom asked me if I'd like her to style my hair. I scoffed and shook my tousled head and told her I wasn't a baby anymore. At the front door, she handed me my backpack and sacked lunch, and as I tossed out the perfunctory, "Thanks, I love you too, see you after school," I tried to ignore the hurt in the eyes, which were so much like mine. I didn't want to come out to my mom. I figured she'd be fine with it. After all, she knew Jairus was by and still thought he hung the moon. It was just that whenever I tried to plan a speech, I couldn't think what in the world to say. When I dug down inside myself, all I could find was excitement and fear and hope and question marks. Toward the end of 7th grade, my soccer team won the district finals. As my teammates and I group hugged around the trophy, I scanned the crowd packing the bleachers. My mom and Jairus were there, beaming and cheering and clapping like crazy, but I could only see the empty space beside them. At home, I flopped onto the couch and turned on the TV. I swallowed against the tears so often and so hard that my throat felt lined with thumbtacks. Mom brought me a glass of lemonade and sat close to me, holding my hand, her sensible slacks brushing the stuffed, grass-stained knee hanging out of my blue soccer shorts. She apologized for Dad's absence as if it was her fault, as if she was in any way responsible. It was the sympathy in her voice and her eyes and her arms around me that made the tears overflow. "He's mad at me." I hated the way I sounded when I cried. "Oh, sweetie," Mom rubbed my back. "Why would he be mad at you?" "Because I told him I liked this girl." I waited for her to question, to doubt, to pull away from me like Dad had. But her eyes stayed on mine, and she pressed my hand between hers. "Your father is not going to be mad at you for putting more love into the world." The next morning, as the sun peeked around the curtains, Mom guided me into the kitchen with an arm across my shoulders. She made me hot chocolate, and as I sat at the table and groggily sipped, she stood behind me and braided my hair. It had been so long since she'd done that, and I found myself relaxing beneath the familiar twists and turns of her fingers. When my cocoa mug was empty and Mom had snapped the elastic on the end of my braid, I shuffled to the bathroom to brush my teeth. Only when I glanced into the mirror did I see it. A beautifully plaited French braid with interwoven ribbons. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. A rainbow of acceptance, spilling from her heart to mine by way of her hands and my hair. She was connecting to me the way she always had before life became complicated. Thank you.